Despite getting rid of the V8, the G550 is still selling out. I'll include a link to the Mercedes and Salt Lake's website in the description down below. If you have any questions, just ask for Dylan. Let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a super low mileage manual Ford GT. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus entries on any donation, $25 or more. Under the hood is a turbo 3-liter inline 6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town, 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 443 horsepower and then 413 pound-feet of torque. We're closing in on 500,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Gotta love the G-Wagon hood design where you've got the turn signal indicators there on the front fenders and then the tapered off hood. And this one's all blacked out. You can see the headlight bezel and then the brush guard. And I love the G550 brush guard that goes over the headlights. I think it looks a lot better than the 63 over the kind of bottom section there. Altogether, any G-Wagon looks good, but especially these 550s with that brush guard. 275 by 50 by 20 is the tire and wheel setup. The wheels are completely blacked out with this package. You'll note the trim there on the side is blacked out, the fender flares, and even these side steps have been blacked out, which gives the G-Wagon a very uniform appearance. When it comes to key fob features, we've got our lock and unlock feature, Mercedes logo there in the center, and everyone's favorite part, the latches. Definitely a nice sound with that. Quilted leather there on the back, which is crazy, but we do have a cargo cover here in the rear. We also have some storage netting there on the side, and because this is a box, even though it doesn't go in super deep, you've got tons of vertical storage. And one more for the trip home. Now the taillights are still super low on the body with the G-Wagon. You've got the spare tire carrier, which is completely covered, which gives it, again, more of a premium look. Now to cap things off the exterior, this is still body on frame, solid rear axle, but independent front suspension now. Keyless entry for even the rear. We've got acoustic glass in the rear, and then we've got more of that nice quilted leather Burmester sound system. And this one has heated seats in the back, and also the stitching continues to the bottom. And then here are the seats perforated down the center. Again, you've got a fancy kind of cross-stitch pattern. Decent legroom back here. It's better than the previous gen. Vents in the back. We also have our own climate zone as well, and of course a billion inches of headroom because the box design also very premium headliner. Keyless entry for up front, and let's pop in. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. The mirrors do power fold in, and again acoustic glass up front just like the back. Heated and ventilated seats for up front. You've got your seat adjustments on the door panel, memory seats, and then more nice trim over the entirety of the door panel. 1256 for the payload capacity with this one. We actually still have the factory seat covering on this, but yeah, the seats are the same as the back with the brown there in the center and really nice stitching and all of that. Gotta love the G-Wagon pedals, they look nice. Lots of nice trim around the steering wheel, including the perforated trim on either side. Even the airbag cover has stitching. Paddles on the back for the 9-speed. Column mounted shifter. This is for the infotainment system. That is for that center gauge cluster, and then you have adaptive cruise control too. Fully digital here in the center, and you can change what is displayed. You can also change the theme of the gauge cluster. This is the classic theme. 360 camera system, really good resolution, just like other modern Mercedes. And then the infotainment system is quick to respond. Everything is nicely labeled. This one has massage seats. But yeah, this is why a lot of people love this new G550, is because you finally have a touchscreen infotainment system. And the off-road cockpit feature, it'll pop up. There we go. Adds to some modern utility. Also shows you the elevation even. Being a G-Wagon, this is still triple locked from the factory, and that's your little off-road cockpit shortcut. You got your low range manual mode. I like how it's all in one place now. Climate control is just down below, and then you've got your kind of little charging area, some USBs and everything, and heated cooled cup holders too. Physical control for the infotainment system. Got your drive mode select in that area. Center console pops up. I was got a USB port. Nice trim there on the top. You got the G-Wagon grab handle, beautiful with the trim there. It says manufacturer. I can't pronounce that properly. Like I said, fancy headliner, and then we do have a sunroof. 2026 G550. This one has a $13,000 package, the interior plus crazy. $181,035. Let's cap things off with this 550. G550. Now, this is my favorite version of the G-Wagon as a 550 personally. The 63 is really cool. And it's cooler now because the 550 has the inline six and the 63 is the only G-Wagon with a V8. But I just like the fact that the 550 can accommodate 18-inch wheels because it's got smaller brakes, unlike the 63. I also like the suspension on the 550 more. It's more comfortable. The 63's AMG tuned suspension is pretty firm, and the G-Wagon's already going to be a bit less comfortable because it's body on frame with a solid rear axle. So adding firm, sporty shocks and everything to it, and firmer springs is, yeah, just going to make it even less comfortable. And this thing already handles really well. Again, you got independent front suspension, and they've been tuning the G-Wagon suspension for a long time, so again, I think the comfort plus the handling in the 550 is like the sweet spot. Now, a benefit of the inline six is it is a lighter powertrain, so you get a bit more payload, and this feels a little bit more nimble. And when you're just driving around town, it's quiet. Again, you got the acoustic glass front and rear, and it's smooth. It's quiet and smooth. That being said, it does feel a little bit weird to not have a V8 in a G-Wagon. It's just, it's not the worst thing on the planet, but I don't know, it almost feels unnatural. It's quick and it's got good, I mean, it's got pretty good torque. The V8 obviously had more torque. It's the benefit of the old V8 over this new turbo inline six is the torque difference. Yeah, these seats are pretty comfortable. They're tight though. That's the thing about G-Wagon seats is they definitely are a bit on the tighter side with the bolstering and everything. It's Mercedes' way of saying, hey, if you want to drive a G-Wagon, you better be in good shape. You better be nice and slender to be able to fit in. But yeah, really, really high seating position. Yeah, it's quiet in here. Again, the things that acoustic glass can do when it comes to luxury is quite nice. And the 9-speed's very smooth. You know, sound aside, I do like the performance of this. It's pretty nice. I think I could get used to it. And I think a lot of G-Wagon people, they care more about the status symbol part of the G-Wagon rather than the powertrain. I mean, they want it to have enough power, right? You want to be able to get out into traffic and be able to keep up with it and everything, and it can do that. But yeah, in terms of, you know, the sound, I don't think people care as much. And also, this is going to get better fuel economy, so I think that people are okay from that perspective, but it's not that much better. I think the old V8 was like 14, 16. This is 17, 19, so I mean, it's an increase, that's for sure. But it's not like a crazy big difference. Ooh, that is cool. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I'll have to back up. That one's got the off-road. Wow, and it's green. That has got to be like a one of one. Yeah, it's got the G Professional and it's green. That is cool. So let me know what you guys think about the... Thank you. Let me know what you guys think about the turbo inline 6 G-Wagon.